What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another movie review. I'm Chase Lee, reviewing for DallasMovieScreenings.com and continuing my coverage of the 2019 North Texas Film Festival. It's the last thing that I saw for you guys, and it's not really a movie per se. Kind of weird, right? Before I get into what it actually is, I just want to thank North Texas Film Festival for allowing me to cover the festival as press. Hopefully I can do more next year, and hopefully you guys will have another one next year. So thank you for that. So this is not actually a film review. This is more of like a short film review, and there's 4 of them. So at the festival, they had a collection of shorts that were the best from the Dallas International Film Festival earlier this year that I did not even get to catch. So I was like, cool, I get to see 4 short films, and I'm going to go ahead and just review them like that as a collection of shorts, and we're just going to run by them. And so I have to use my phone, guys. I'm not a genius by any means, but when I'm covering 4 things, I have to look at stuff. I have to read you synopsis and titles and everything. It's just how it has to go. So this is my review of the 4 short films that I saw, and I will be reviewing them in order that I saw them. So the first one that popped up is 10 minutes long, and it's called Repoptosis. Let's go with that. So this one tells the story of 3 Renees as they go on a quest to find God, which is also Renee. All right. As they traverse the mountains and valleys of Renee, they discover all the great joys, sadnesses, and mysteries of Renee. I want you to imagine if David Lynch did an animated short film. This is exactly what you would get. It is a fever dream, folks. It is crazy. It is very well animated for sure. It's like got this kind of rustic, hand-drawn animation to it. It's supposed to look a little sloppy, but it kind of adds to the weirdness and abstract nature of it. And I think it's about the circle of life. What I just read to you is kind of like that, but it's pretty much the circle of life, from birth to death and everything in between, all the stuff that you experience. And it was just told in a very oddly poetic and disturbing manner. I don't know what else to say. I would probably give it like a B minus. I think it strives what it's going for, but it's a little too short to even justify it being a complete journey. I don't know. It was experimental for sure, but I thought it was interesting at best. But I wouldn't go as far as to say it was like great or anything. But Repoptosis, that is the first one, a fever dream animation of shorts. So there you go. The next one that I saw was The Queen's New Clothes. Now, this one focuses on Win Morton, who is a visionary 90-year-old costume designer who honed his craft on Broadway with his Ringling Brothers circus. He brings over the top fantasy and sparkle to a conservative pageant in East Texas. Now, I live in Texas. I live in Arlington, so I'm aware of like the DFW area, Fort Worth, Dallas, everything. I've never even heard of this festival down or over on in East Texas. So East Texas, for if you guys are not from Texas, I live kind of North Texas center, East Texas. I mean, it's so far out there. So this was an interesting documentary. I really liked him. I liked Win. He was such a fun dude, and like he had so much passion behind what he did. He's been working his entire life. I mean, he still does it to this day. He's almost 90 years old. He was 89 in the documentary. And so, yeah, he just really loves bringing these people their over-the-top fantasies and dreams of, like, extravagant dresses. And he just wants to see them smile and be happy. And he loves working and putting all these sequins together and threads. And it's insane. Some of these dresses, you're like, that must have took forever, which he said that for one of the dresses that we saw, 2 months. Insane. But he was a really kind of warm and inviting gentleman. I really liked following him and just seeing his passion and his work ethic. He's just a good human. And they even have a subplot of him in his his lover, because he didn't really ever say it out loud that it was like his husband or like his boyfriend, but that was also really sweet and touching. So it's just a good documentary about a good person, and some really good costume design too. These dresses are amazing. Like I don't even know how to like sew an open wound on my shirt properly, and then this guy is just creating these massively vibrant kind of dresses. It's amazing. So I really liked the Queen's new clothes. So if that's like on YouTube somewhere or whatever, it's a nice little watch. And that's the other thing. I don't know where any of these things are playing. I'm just giving you guys what is up. Just something a little different. But the Queen's new clothes was definitely solid. I would give that one like a B plus. It's good stuff. So the next one that I saw, I don't know how to describe it. So the next one I saw is called Repose, and I don't know if that is if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Excuse me, but that means raptor. And this one tells a story of Ariel, who is involved in the arrest of a teenager accused of stealing a cell phone. Now, it starts off with this guy. He's just kind of like, standing on the sidewalk, smoking a cigarette. This guy's running, and the guy behind him is like, "Stop him, he stole something." He grabs him and throws him to the ground. And then people start to huddle around him, until the cops get there, and they really kind of torture him. And like, "Oh, you piece of garbage, you want to steal from people," and they like kick him and like toss him around and stuff. And it's shot in a vertical format. So not like 4:3 or like 16:9. So it's not standard or widescreen. It's your phone. They shot it as if they shot it on a cell phone, which it makes sense, because if you're dealing with someone that's on the streets like this, like being kind of tortured and like thrown through the ringer through public eye, people are going to be on their cell phones recording it. I wish they would turn their phone to the side and make it a little easier to watch, but most people film like this. But yeah, it provides the kind of like atmosphere you would want for this type of story of someone on their cell phone filming this situation. I don't know what to think about it. It's really short. On here it says it's 13 minutes long. It actually is an interesting premise, and it's an interesting idea that I never even would have thought of. Like, what happens after someone says, "Hey, stop, that guy is stealing something." He's thrown to the ground, and he has to wait until the cops arrive. That's a great setup. And it's like, it's fine, and like people are being judgmental and stuff, which is probably what would happen in real life. And, like, "Why'd you do this?" Like, slap, hit. And it's like, but no one's doing anything about it, because all they see is a thief and a robber. So they're just like letting it happen, letting him get abused like that. It's like, just wait until the cops get there, folks. And then the cops arrive, and then the credits roll. The music was kind of cool. This really kind of like pulse pounding anxiety synth that kind of adds to the situation. It's like, it's a great setup. It's a great premise. It's even shot accordingly, but it's just not enough to justify like a short film. I would actually have rather seen this as like a full-length feature, or even longer, maybe to 20-30 minutes. I don't know. But it was fine. I give it like a C+. But yeah, interesting little premise. I was surprised by that. And the last short that I saw was Mack Wrestles. Now, you guys probably have heard about this. This was a worldwide thing. This one focuses on Mack Beggs, and he was from Euless, Texas. And he was kind of the first transgender athlete to get the spotlight that he did, because when he was trying out for UIL competition, he was deemed as still a girl, and he had to wrestle with the girls. But at this point, he had fully transitioned, and he had used, testosterone and everything. And so he is now a man, and he wants to fight with the boys, but they won't allow him, because Texas had the law at the time. I don't know if it's changed or whatever, because this recently just happened, of whatever is on your birth certificate, that's what you are, and that's what you have to wrestle with. It's not what you identify with, it's what is on the paper. And so that was a struggle for Mack for many, many times that he was trying to do this. And so Yeah, and it kind of just shows his journey of like, climbing up the ladder and being regarded as one of the best in the state and even possibly the world. And like, he's going to like to the national team, and then he got kicked off of it. But now he's like trying to advocate youth on this subject matter and telling them it's okay and like this is what you can do to help ease your transition, come out and all that stuff. This young man is fantastic. I'm so glad that like his family was supportive whenever he wanted to transition. He looks like he's a kick-ass wrestler. I really like that because he kicked my ass. It looks like he trains really hard. He's really in love with wrestling, and so it does kind of suck that people will take that away from him, even though it is clear that he is a man now. Like it's very strange that people still have a stigma over transgender people. And this is coming from someone who is a straight white male. I'm about as cookie cutter as it comes, right? So I won't understand what transgender people go through, but what I can do is sympathize and empathize with their situation and get behind what they want, because this is something that hurts a lot of people to come out and accept the fact that they are in the wrong body. And that takes a lot of courage to do, but we do have this stigma in society that says like, oh, you're a boy. You were born as a boy. You can't be a girl, or vice versa. That's not the case. I mean, transgender people have been around for centuries. People act like this is like a new thing. And so if someone is so uncomfortable like that and they know they're not one thing, just let them be free. Let them love themselves again and become the other gender. Whatever. Just let them live and let them be who they are supposed to be. Because if you oppress them like that, that's not healthy for anybody. It makes you look really or hateful and just really ignorant, and then it crushes them mentally, and like it leads to suicides. It's not healthy, guys. So that's just my kind of soapbox for the transgender issue, and this is coming from someone that very cookie cutter in society, but I just want to make sure that people just be cool with it, support them, and help them. Do whatever it takes. And so yeah, just knowing that like Mack is going through this like transition, also dealing with wrestling, and just it's a lot to topple on a teenager like that. And so I'm glad that he kind of like broke through the fray, and like he's now doing better, and like he graduated school and he's doing his own thing now. But it's a really inspirational story. It's the type of story that you watch and you go, he's fighting it, and I really want to help him kind of fight as a part of his battles and everything. And he's going to have to face this for the rest of his life, especially given the worldwide coverage that this thing got. And so, yeah, it's just an inspirational sports story that I think a lot of people will really, really enjoy. And for me, out of the four, it was the best quality in terms of the way it was shot, the subject matter, and the way it was edited. I give it an A. It's a really great short film. So check it out. That one is from ESPN Films, I believe. So there you go. So yeah, that will conclude my coverage of the 2019 North Texas Film Festival. I hope you guys enjoyed my short and albeit brief coverage. But I really enjoyed covering it, and I really hope next year they have a second festival, and I can cover it again for you guys. So that will do it for this reviews. That makes no sense, but I'm trying to find an outro for this. That will do it for the reviews, guys. I'm Chase Lee, and tune in next time for whatever I review next. I will see you guys later.